What it is, y'all. Number 14, Monty mentality. We out here. We got Bunch in the building once again.
Yo.
Shouts out to Greenhouse Studios for the production. Like, subscribe, and hit that little bell button if you're watching on YouTube, or leave your reviews or whatever on your audio platforms if you're listening on those. As you know, we on those now. Yeah. Today's show hopefully is a fun one. Well, I ain't gonna say hopefully it is, but we're taking a concept that came from one Bill Simmons show actually, but I'm putting my own spin on it. So they went over the four bleakest outlooks in both the East and the Western Conference for the NBA. So we're gonna put our own spin. We're gonna do top five, bottom five fandoms for the next 5 years. So basically, the idea behind this is which teams will be the most fun to follow over the next 5 years. Who should you want to be a fan of? From 2020, from now today until June 2030, the NBA Finals of 2030. Like, who would you most want to follow over these next 5 years?
It's not too late to join the Kings bandwagon, folks. I got you.
And then, of course, on the opposite side of that, so stay tuned for those 5 teams. The other 5 we're going to talk about is the ones that, basically you should just suspend your fandom and follow your favorite player, or if you don't want to do that, just, watch soccer or Love Island or something. That's what the girls are doing. So.
Watch soccer, so.
so yeah, so just do that instead rather than follow this team for the next 5 years. Which 5 are those? Again, stay tuned for that. Also, a bonus topic if we don't run out of time, but I'm not going to promise you that we're going to get that far. But first and foremost, though, since the last time we were here, the Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA championship. So congratulations to them for being the 2024-25 NBA champions. Shea Finals MVP and all that. J-Dub and Shaq getting money.
Shout out to OKC.
But enjoy it while it lasts, because you can pop bottles, go full throttle, or Hartenstein's baby in a swaddle. Lakers in 5.
Them niggas almost didn't get past the Pacers, so.
No, I can't help myself.
No, you can't.
Okay, but that actually is a great transition into our main topic today, which is top 5 and bottom 5 NBA fandom for the next 5 years. But let's first go over, I like to put my criteria for it so you understand what it is that we're judging here. And of course, Bunch has his own, but of course, I'm going to lead off and then he's going to bounce off of me. That's how we do it. So, what are the things that I'm looking for when evaluating the best and worst teams to follow for 5 years? And remember, the time period we're covering is from October, so opening night 2025 until June of 2030, the NBA Finals of 2030. So that's the time frame we're covering here. Is your team capable of winning a championship in the present? That's the easiest mark for is your team good to follow now or over this time? They're a championship contender today. They're capable of winning the championship now. But also, if yes, the answer to that is yes. So can they win a championship? How likely are they to win a championship? Are they like the favorite, or it's like, hey, if these things bounce right, blah, blah, this guy takes a leap, or hey, Shea sprains his ankle game 1, shit like that, right? And if no, the answer to that is no, you're not disqualified automatically, obviously, because again, this is 5 years we're covering here. How feasible is the path to enter that convo during this time frame, right? So, like I said, guys developing, what kind of assets do you have to upgrade the team, things like that. And then also, if no to both of those, then at the very least, because again, we're still not going to automatically disqualify you, but chances are if you don't have that realistic path, this will at least keep you out the bottom, which is, can you at least have a path to fielding a team that can win a playoff series or multiple playoff series over the course of these 5 years? So that's the bar we're looking at. Also, on another side, do you have superstars that's worth investing in, whether emotionally or whatever? Because that's another thing is, okay, first we got the winning, but then do you have players that you actually want to follow? So like if yes, how likely is that superstar to be on this team over this stretch? This entire stretch, I should say. So, like, okay, we got LeBron on the Lakers, but he's probably not going to play for the Lakers after this year, right? So it's like, yeah, you get credit for this year for that specifically, but like, we're not counting on that for the duration of this time, right?
Versus, LeBron gonna be in Golden State by next week. What the fuck you talking about?
Or like, speaking of Golden State, like Steph Curry. Steph Curry probably won't be playing basketball 5 years from now. So like, that's something to consider, right? Now, also, if you don't have a superstar like that, what are your chances of acquiring said star? So whether that be through the draft or free agency or trade. Free agency is rare though.
Does this list take into account like who your star players are dating? Like, say hypothetically, one of my best shooters is dating Meg Thee Stallion. Like, does that go into? Okay, I just had to ask.
Fuck Klay
Thompson. Hey, shoot.
Oh, look at me! I'm Klay Thompson. I've made hundreds of millions of dollars, and I'm one of the greatest shooters of all time, and I got 4 championship rings, and now I got Meg Thee Stallion sitting on my lap opening gifts, calling me your man. Look at me.
They say Meg is in a shooter, so it's hard to find a better one. Nah, shout out to Klay though. He's having a hell of an offseason, I'll tell you that much. I bet you he balled this year.
I can't argue that. I can't argue that. Take the Mavs over. But anyway.
At least take the Klay over. Like, this nigga making 7 threes a game.
But yeah. So also, superstars. Do you have someone on your roster that has the possibility of becoming a superstar? Do they have that kind of upside or talent? That's also a big thing. So, if the answer is no to those first 2 questions, now we're starting to consider you for the other side of this, right? So, easiest way to be in the bottom 5. 1, lack of draft capital. That's very easy, right? Like, you can't even count on the lottery saving your ass like it did a certain team in Texas this year. Having money tied up in dead weight. That's another big one.
I feel attacked.
We may or may not get to that, but we'll see. Obviously, having a subpar roster in the current day will at least have us look at you, right? Particularly if you don't have any obvious outs. So, like, the obvious outs would be, say, for example, you're the Washington Wizards, but you're likely to pick high in the draft this year. So we're not going to penalize you quite as hard for being ass in the present day, because you're the most likely to at least get immediate help where it matters. Also, front office that at least appears to have a real plan.
Mm-hmm. What's his name? Dawkins? I like him.
Ownership that appears to care about actually winning and not just, filling the seats just to make it to the next day. Hey, renew those season tickets. We can't rebuild for real. We got to, there's a couple teams on here that may or may not be relevant for that bottom 5. So, yeah. So, basically, in summation, the best way to be in the bottom 5 is you ain't got no fucking hope to be significantly better than where you are right now due to either lack of resources or willpower, questionable ownership, front office, lack of talent, assets with upside, the unholy trinity of ass.
I feel attacked on all those fronts.
that is what is going to get you at the bottom, sir.
I'm going to check out on that segment.
But now, on to number 1 on our top team list. Now, all of you probably should know who this is.
Wait, so you're going from 1 to 5?
So here's how we're going to do it. So I thought about doing 1 through 5 top, 1 through 5 bottom, but actually, no. We're going to do it with a twist. We're going to alternate between top and bottom until the end. But we'll get to that when we get there. But yeah, we're gonna go number 1 top, bottom, 2 2, 3 3, and then you'll see how it ends. But
okay.
So yeah, number 1 top. So this is on the top side, the good side. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Surprise, of course. I mean, I want to say the Lakers because we're the Lakers. Why wouldn't you want to root for the Lakers? Obviously, but we're unbiased here. I'm gonna be honest. It's the Thunder. This is pretty easy. They're the best team in the league right now. All their key guys will be under 32 for this whole stretch, and 2 of them will be under 30 for this whole stretch. Yes, their contracts are about to balloon up starting next season, and then 2 seasons from now for Shea, but they have a lot of draft capital to supplement around them.
I don't know how they got so many, bro.
So, of course we don't have time here to go over how they got all those picks, but
Preston needs to hold a class, like a master class for being a GM.
But also they have other guys like Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, on very cost controlled deals, so they can offload those guys pretty easy if they need to. Hartenstein, they can sign him to a new cheaper deal if they need to. They could think about moving Luke Dort. They have a lot of things that they can do with all those extra picks and guys being on reasonable contracts that, hey, they're going to be, as long as their big 3 is healthy, it's going to be tough to knock them off their perch. I can't lie to you. And they're probably only going to get better. They're over under 62.5 in Vegas. That's the highest since the 2018 Warriors, I want to say. It's crazy. But yeah. So now, just real quick though, they likely have two extra picks. So they have all their own pick, and then the next 2 drafts, they have 2 extra picks more than likely. Possibly 3, but very unlikely because Utah's pick is top 8. No chance that happens. It falls out of that. So they could have 2, including one from Philly that could be in the lottery. Could, because they were supposed to get it last year. No, they didn't. So now they could get it this year. Not out the question. Then they control Denver's drafts for 2027 and 29, so long as those picks aren't in the top 5. 27, we're pretty sure won't be. 29, swap right with Dallas in 28. That's not as attractive as it was 3 months ago, but hey, it's still there, right? So yeah, easy choice for number 1. If you're a Thunder fan, happy days and all that jazz. Good for you, buddy.
They're number 1, and it's probably not even close.
But just like they were an easy choice for number 1, we now transition to the easy choice for number 1 on the bottom side.
Well, let me guess. Well, I'm going to guess Phoenix. But go ahead, do your thing.
So number 1 bottom, which was easy. This team stood out above all. Like they're just running away with it. And it is indeed the Phoenix Suns.
That's what I thought, yeah.
This is the one franchise that ticks off every single box you want, with maybe one exception. They do have a star. He's not a super duper star. But everything else, woo boy. They're not good now. When I was going through my power rankings in the West, I think there's only one team. No, there's 2 teams that I had being worse than them. Vegas actually has only 1.
Utah.
Correct. And then the team that I have worse than them, which we may or may not get to later. I'll save that.
I dare you.
I'll save that team for later.
I dare you.
There's only one other team that I might have had worse than them, but we'll talk about them later. But yeah, lack of upside also on the roster, because who's the next superstar? Don't tell me Jalen Green or some shit. Like, no.
That's going to be terrible to watch. Oh my God.
They have no point guards. They have no power forwards that can start, at least. No point guards, no power forward. And like only one of their starters is probably above average, and that's Booker, right?
Who's they? Well, yeah, they ain't got no point guard. They ain't got no. Yeah, shit, they ain't got nothing.
I mean, they got Dylan Brooks. They got and that's a starting caliber 3.
Yeah.
Okay. But then, like I said, Booker and Jalen are probably gonna start together, and then I mean, who's starting at the 4? Ryan Dunn?
Bobo.
I don't even know if Bobo's still on the team.
Jesus. He can come to Sacramento if you want. I'll take him.
But also, so basically your hope on that front is that Malawach is just way better than anyone could ever imagine. Good luck with that. Also, lack of draft assets. Oh, this is where it gets really ugly. Because it's like, okay, it's one thing if you're bad now. You're not good. You don't have a way to get good. But they don't control their draft until 2032. 2032. Ooh. Oh my God. Like Devin Booker just signed an extension and he's not even under contract that far out. Oh. Like that's not even within this window. Jesus.
That's hard. That's hard right there.
Likely to buy out and stretch Bradley Beal. So now their cap's going to be affected by that. We don't know by how much because we don't know how much he's going to give up. But ownership that you cannot be confident in. So that's nice. Or that's me being generous to even just say that. But hey, at least Booker is locked up for this entire period. For whatever that's worth.
Not much. Jesus.
So yeah.
You might as well trade him for draft picks at this point.
That's what they should have done.
Jesus.
This summer.
2032.
Like
God,
if you could have traded him to instead of KD, if you could have traded him to Houston and gotten your picks back, that would have been the move. But they're like, no, we want to keep Devin Booker and try to contend. Yeah, contend for 6 in the lottery. That's what you're contending for.
Contended for number 1 in the lottery, Jesus.
Dumb ass niggas. Do you realize? Oh, that reminds me. Good news, Wizards fans. Out the way. Because the worse Phoenix is, the better that is for you. Because the Wizards have, as long as the Wizards keep their pick, because their pick is owed to the Knicks this year, but it's top 8 protected again.
The Knicks for what? Why is it owed to the Knicks?
So originally they traded it to, I want to say Houston for Russell Westbrook.
Oh my God.
So it was a 2023 lottery protected pick for Westbrook with Westbrook trade that has fallen within its protected range every year. And this is the last year. And then it turns into second. And it's top 8 this year. And no chance the Wizards are going to be picking lower than 8. I will guarantee stamp it right here, right
I don't know about that. They be having shitty luck in the draft.
It don't matter. They're not going to finish outside of the bottom 4. It's not happening. They're going to up for now. But the Wizards are going up as a franchise. But for this year, but yeah. Probably will take a borderline miracle for Phoenix to win a playoff series in the next 5 years. That sucks for them. But now, that's right. Before I move on, I lost track. What I was going to say about the Wizards, why Wizards fans should be happy before we move on. You have swap right with the Suns for their pick this year. So long as you keep your pick, which you're going to. So the worse the Suns do, the more that gives you an extra chance to get one of those 3 monsters that's coming out in next year's draft. So, Kobe Jr., Tracy Jr., or Carl Jr. For those who didn't, well, obviously I know who Kobe is, but Tracy McGrady Jr. or Karl Malone Jr. That being Darren Peterson, AJ DeMasta, Cameron Boozer. They got a good chance to get one of those 3 guys. And in part because Phoenix is probably going to be bad. And that will be good for them.
Ain't no probably about that.
That gives them 2 chances, and then Memphis gets the other pick between those 2. But yeah. But now let's flip back to some positivity. All right. And our number 2 team, a Texas team. But it's probably not the Texas team you're thinking of. We'll get to them, though. And that is the Houston Rockets.
Oh.
That's right. Houston is our number 2 top team to root for. And I know Bunch would have another Texas team here probably.
Yeah, that's what I thought you was going with.
Yeah, no. But I think
it's hard for me to...
we might get to them later. But right now I think Houston is the 2, and I'm going to lay out the case right now. So one thing that separates Houston from a lot of these other teams is that they have 2 things going for it. They're a team that is in title contention now. Now, I'm not saying they're a favorite. I wouldn't pick them over Oklahoma City. I probably wouldn't pick them over Denver. to get out the West. But after that, I probably would have them number 3, at worst number 4, behind maybe Minnesota. Like I like Houston more than Minnesota.
Oh, I'd like them way more than Minnesota.
But yeah, like they would be my number 3 team to get out the West as of now. So they are a team that could theoretically win the championship now. And
so can I give you a little plot twist on that?
What's that?
I like them second best in the West, but first best ain't who you think it is. It's not OKC.
That would be interesting to know who could be. Because not Minnesota, not Denver, unless it is Denver.
It's Denver.
Yeah, okay.
It's Denver. I like Denver. I like what they did this offseason.
Yeah.
But we can go back to Houston.
Will Denver come up on this list? We'll see. But yeah, they can compete for a title now, and they can get much better from here, even though KD is our fucking age. And that is, they have young talent, obviously, including my son, the bionic twin, that is Amen Thompson. That's right.
And my adopted son, Sangoon.
They got talent that's young and getting better. They got competent coaching and front office. So you can have faith in both of those things.
Yep.
They're likely not done star hunting either, because
I don't like that.
they have tradable deals, and more importantly, extra picks. Extra picks is always a big thing we like here when we're looking out.
What kind of stars are they looking for? Like what positions?
Well, there's that guy in Milwaukee that they are probably holding their stuff for.
Okay, he's not going nowhere. We can get over that. They
They
just got Miles Turner. He ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere for now. They would be on that bottom 5 list if he was going somewhere, but he's not. So lucky for you, Milwaukee, you get to stay off. You're automatically disqualified when you have a top 3-4 player for the foreseeable future.
Giannis ain't going nowhere.
He probably isn't, but teams are gonna still try to be prepared. But yeah, they have extra draft picks. That's the other big thing. So they're out their own 26 pick unless it somehow is in the top 4, which it will not be. So, but they have all their own picks after that, and they have, here's a golden one that may come up later, a 2027 swap with the Brooklyn Nets. They have 2029, the 2 most favorable of their own, Brooklyn and Dallas. Now again, those might not be as attractive when we reach 2029, but hey, you get 2 of the 3 best of those. So that's another thing, which likely my prediction is they will not actually be making those picks. Again, I think they will trade them before we get to there, but we'll see. So basically everything you want except for an absolute dead bang MVP candidate type. That's the only thing they're missing. Which is a big thing, but they can get a lot better a lot quicker. But now let's flip back to the depressing stuff. And we're going to have our number 2 bottom team, which is Sir Ernest is rolling over in his cigar. That is the Chicago Bulls.
That's actually a good pick. I forgot about them.
So it was tough choosing number 2 because there was 3 teams that I seriously had to think about for this one. So obviously we'll get to the other 2 soon. But ultimately I chose Chicago because they look the most hopeless of them for even the most modicum of relevancy this year and beyond. So
these niggas might actually be worse than Phoenix now that I'm thinking about their roster.
Oh, I looked at their roster and I was like, oh my God. Like, they're supposed, because they're going to try, because they are going to try to make the play-in. And I was like, when I was ranking the East teams in my head, like I was writing them down, right? And I was like, dang. All right. I wrote down this team. So I got 11 teams before I got to Chicago. You supposed to be trying for the play-in, and I got 11 teams better than you, nigga? Like, fuck. That's some shit.
I don't know how you look at that roster and be like, we're trying for the play. I was like,
they want that 9 seed. They want that sweet play-in money. That's literally what they're aiming for. They succeeded last year because the East was just so bad. And granted, it's going to be bad again, but like,
yeah, but Embiid's coming back.
Embiid's coming back. So, Philly probably won't be that ass. And also, Philly has less incentive to tank because now the pick is only top 4 protected instead of 6. So
when I say Embiid's coming back, I only mean for like 25 games. So
hey, that's enough to keep him out the top 4, maybe, or the bottom 4 of the East, or whatever. BJ Edgecombe, baby, Jared McCain, let's get it. But yeah, the best player currently under contract for the Chicago Bulls is Kobe White, who may not even be an average starter at his position and is expiring. No young talent that has clear star upside, though Buzelis is a little interesting. And I don't know much about this Mustangwe dude or whatever that they took number 12, but he seems all right. But, I don't know what he's supposed to look like. But right now it looks like they don't have no clear star talent.
They only got 2 players I do like Kobe White, although, like you said, I don't think he's a clear starter. And I like Giddey, but he ain't doing nothing in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the smut on his name, but I still like him as a player.
Yeah. Who's, by the way, he's still not signed yet, but we'll probably sign eventually. It's just a restricted free agency game. But
come to Sacramento, baby. We got a contract for you.
The ownership and front office also have no votes of confidence from me.
Nah, hell no.
Reinsdorf. Ugh. And then speaking of, though, they do have 2 saving graces that stop them from being number 1, and also at least maybe think about not having them here and having one of those other 2 teams. They have all their own picks moving forward, so that's always good. Plus an extra from Portland should it fall outside the lottery at some point, which it has until 2028 to fall outside the lottery for them to get it. I predict Portland will make the playoffs by 2028.
Me too.
And this upcoming draft, this rank, if depending on how this next draft goes, this ranking could change dramatically. If they get lucky on lottery night and they get, Tracy Jr. or Kobe Jr., Carl Jr., or one of those other guys pop, which, again, this draft is going to be loaded, which is actually going to factor into another team, the next team I bring up, but we'll get to that. Then all of a sudden, this looks completely different just like that. The other thing is they have a ton of cap space the next few summers, potentially, because they don't really have a lot of money on their book. Now, what they do with it is another question, but at least it's there, right? You at least have something to cling to. But enough about them. Back to the positive. Number 3, top team.
Another Texas team.
He is correct.
There we go.
It is San Antonio Spurs. Obvious why they're on here. The extraterrestrial.
De'Aaron Fox. Oh, sorry. Jumped the gun there, my bad.
Wembanyama. Fox will come up in a second. If healthy, likely a top 5 player today moving forward. And my prediction.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, especially because now you ain't got no Tatum. And assuming he has his natural progression, because I think when healthy, remember when I did my top 10, I think I had him 8, either 8 or 9. So with his natural progression, and now Tatum's gone, LeBron's older, Steph's older.
How many points he averaged last year?
Somewhere in the 20s.
It was in the 20s? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So defensive player of the year, and he's going to be a 25 plus.
No. I was thinking he was at like 18, but if he was at 20 plus, okay.
Yeah, no, he was like legit MVP candidate last year. I mean, not to like win, but like he could have been like number 5.
Yeah.
And again, the arrow's pointing up.
I saw he was doing some like monk shit this summer. I like that. I like that for him.
My bet to become the best in the world also by the end of this stretch. Oh, but
I'm actually rooting for that.
that's not all though. They also got Dylan Harper, son of Ron Harper, who looks like an all NBA level talent at lead guard, which that thus requires us to address the elephant in the room that bunch is familiar with, De'Aaron Fox.
Getting traded again, buddy.
Who may not be long for this team, but he will help them win for right now.
Well, so I got a question. So they got Harper, Fox, and Castle.
Correct.
Who's the better fit next to Harper? Because I'm not really familiar with his game yet.
I mean, it would probably have to be Castle by default, but
why?
Because theoretically, Castle may be a little better away from the ball, but
okay, he's a better shooter.
No, but he probably does more like the cutting stuff and all of that. But
so is Harper a shooter?
No.
So they got 3 guards and none of them shooters.
Correct.
They're all slashers and.
Now Harper, I think, will shoot it eventually, but not right now.
But both of them are both bigger than Fox.
Correct.
Like size wise.
Harper's like 6'5". He reminds me of Cade, except he doesn't shoot like Cade does, but
Cade's like 6'7" though, ain't he?
Like 6'6". But like he gets to the rim better than Cade, and he finishes better than Cade.
More explosive.
Yeah, more explosive. Well, yeah, probably more explosive.
Cade ain't that explosive. He good, but he ain't.
But he's not. But Harper's also not. He's not crazy explosive, though. He did have that crazy block that I sent to you.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing he said his dad was better at. He's like, I'm better at everything, but he could probably jump better.
Yeah, like he's not super. He's a good athlete. Like he's a fine athlete, so that's not gonna be a weakness. But
so Castle's the better fit next to him. So Fox is likely the odd man out.
Yeah, also because Fox is going to get paid. He's about to get his next big contract probably in a few weeks. Contract extension. Him and Luka are actually going to probably get their extensions one day apart because Luka's eligible on August 2nd, Fox on August 3rd, per NBA trade rules and all that, blah, blah. But yeah, at least Fox will help them win games this year. Yeah. So that helps this ranking some. But also they got Carter Bryant bringing the straps.
That's my guy. That's my guy already.
I don't even know what his offense is, and I'm not sure it matters.
Who cares?
Like him and Wemby together, you're not scoring ever.
I seen a half of a summer league game, and I was sold. So,
and then Castle can defend too. Another defensive dynasty is loading in San Antonio, man. I'm sick of these niggas. My whole goddamn life. We got a little break for a few years, and now these niggas are right back. Yeah. And another thing that they have, stop me if you heard this before, extra draft picks, even after trading for Fox.
Well, that's because we got fleeced.
so they got control of Atlanta's draft for the next 2 years, a swap, and then their pick outright next year. They're out their own 27. But whatever.
Like, who cares, right?
They got Boston's 2028 top 1 protected. They have 2030 most favorable of their own, Dallas and Minnesota. That's 3 chances for glory. I mean, them and Dallas will probably be really good by then. Minnesota, who knows? And then brace yourself, Bunt, for this last one. They have a 2031 swap with Sacramento.
Don't tell me it's from that Fox trade.
It's not from that. Actually, the actual answer might be even worse.
Don't tell me it's from the DeMar DeRozan trade. Bruh.
Yeah, no.
Actually, no, we didn't get him from San Antonio. We got him from Chicago.
But that was part of right. It was a sign-in trade. Because y'all wanted to get rid of Harrison Barnes.
All right.
So yeah, they could potentially become a title contender, that being San Antonio. Organically. But also they have the ammo to drastically improve.
I'm stressed. I'm stressed the fuck out. You just ruined my night. I did not need to know that.
But enough about them. We're going back to negativity and our number 3 bottom.
Surprise, Sacramento. No.
It's not Sacramento, actually.
Jesus Christ.
It is, but it is another Western Conference team. Speaking of draft picks, and that's why this team is here.
Let me guess. I don't know. I was gonna say the New Orleans Pelicans, but
Actually, that is.
oh shit. Okay, I was gonna say for me it'd be the Pelicans, but
it is New Orleans. You are right.
Because I don't like them.
So New Orleans, lottery team in the present with a subpar front office and ownership. So there you go. Easy case to have them right here.
Well, they got Joe Dumars now, don't they?
Yeah, that's not exactly great.
Oh, oh, never mind.
And Troy Reaver is basically running the show anyway. From word on the street, we saw what he did with Detroit.
Who? Joe?
No, Troy. Well, they both were in Detroit, but Troy Reaver was just in Detroit before.
They look good now.
Yeah, but part of that's because of the other guy that just took over because he knew how to put an actual roster together.
Oh,
see, Troy Reaver can actually spot out talent. He just doesn't know how to put together an actual like roster that's going to win games. Like, you know. So, but we'll get to some of that. So,
but Joe Dumars wasn't the GM when they had Chauncey and all that?
Oh no, yeah, he was back then.
All right, so he cool. Or you saying he aged out?
He aged out.
Oh, okay. All right. like, I mean, I can see that. He was
terrible by the end.
Well, it's Detroit, but I hear you. All right.
So a heavy debate for them between them and obviously number 2 and number 4, which we'll get to. But here's what put them over top for me to put them here at number 3.
Zion Williamson. Sorry.
Well, Zion is the reason why they're not. He's the small little chance that he puts the gumbo down.
And he put the porn stars down too.
And the porn stars too.
Because Mariah Mills, every time I see a picture of her ass get bigger.
He puts them down. That's the only reason why. That's part of why they're not number 2. Why they ended up number 3.
That shit's ridiculous. Her ass is like
that small
ridiculous.
little chance. But here's what pushed them over the top to have them 3 and not 4 or 5. Bro, they don't have their 2026 pick and what's supposed to be a loaded draft while almost certainly being on the road to lottery land. What the fuck? Why?
And they just traded that, right? To trade up for
Derek Queen. Correct.
Which he plays this, I assume same position as Zion's going to play.
Well, he doesn't play the same position. He's a center. The problem
He's a center?
Yes. But he's kind of like a do-it-all on offense kind of.
No, I actually really like him. I was hoping he's gonna fall to the Wizards, because he reminded me of like Zach Randolph. But
him and Zion,
he looked like a 4.
Yeah, him and Zion is a fit together.
Yeah, that just. So I'm like, does that mean y'all about to trade him?
Nah, apparently not. But
because why else would you trade up and lose your draft pick for next year? To draft the same.
In love with Derek Queen, and they think they're going to be good.
Yeah, but
why they think they're going to be good, I don't know.
If this is what Joe Mars does, I see why he got fired.
Well, do you realize that when they had a story where the Hawks were like, they like had to call Joe Dumars on the phone to be like, "Yo, are you serious? Like, are you really offering this?
Is this Chat GPT?
Like what is going on?"
Right.
They're like, "Oh, for real? Oh my God, bet that." Now the Hawks might be getting AJ DeBance. That's crazy. But yeah, they're almost certainly a lottery team, and they gave up their pick in a loaded draft. Great job, guys. Great fucking work. They also have Jordan Poole, albeit he's looking a little better.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
And DeJounte Murray on $30+ million deal.
He's getting traded.
For the next 2 seasons.
Actually, I don't even know if you could move that after that injury.
For the next 2 seasons, that they have those 2 guys on $30 million deals, and actually 3 more seasons for DeJounte. So yeah, that hurts this too. But I do really like Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. Really like those guys a lot.
I really want them to get traded.
I really want them to get traded to the Lakers.
To Sacramento. Specifically Trey.
Trey and Herb on the Lakers, I could dream about that all day.
But, I've been geeking over Trey since his rookie year.
I mean, for good reason. So for this ranking to look stupid, Fears and Queen are going to have to hit big, along with Zion. I'm not going to hold my breath on it.
Zion's been hitting big his whole career, so.
But the other tiebreaker from number 4 is that I don't see any way that this is even a play-in team next year, to be honest. Unless Zion, if they're a play-in team next year, Zion is like second team All NBA
and plays 70 games.
Well, yeah, he would have to even qualify. But yeah. So yeah, the defense is just going to be too bad. Like Herb Jones is the only impactful defender on the whole roster.
Well, no, Trey's a defender. At least he's got he's got defensive qualities, good defensive qualities. He's long.
He looks like a defender.
DeJounte used to be a defender.
Used to.
Zion in college was like
Zion
they could be better. That's all I'm saying.
Bottom 5 defense loading.
No, I'm not disagreeing because Zion's their anchor,
but yeah, they're only so. Remember when I said Phoenix? Was that Phoenix I was talking about? Yeah, that there's only one team for sure that's worse than them, and another one that might be worse. This was them. It was the New Orleans.
That's what I was thinking too, but I was like, I don't know if I'm just shitting on them because I don't like Zion. I don't know how biased I'm being, but you're validating.
So it's pretty bleak for them. But at least they have next year's draft, which again stops them from being with Phoenix. They have.
Well, no, you just said they traded the draft.
I mean, 27 and on.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have a couple extras, I think. But yeah, but enough about that depressing ass shit. Let's go to number 4, top team. Our first Eastern Conference team.
Wait. So what were the top 3? It was
Oklahoma City,
Houston, and San Antonio.
Yeah.
Now for first East Coast team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say the Wizards.
They're not even close.
No. I'm trying to. Who the fuck in that? I don't know. I don't like nobody in the East.
So for me, it was the Orlando Magic.
Oh, I can see that. They've done a lot this offseason.
So on paper, at least, this looks like a real contender in the East.
Yeah.
For the present and for this entire duration.
Yeah, I actually like that.
Their players all their relevant players are young. The Bane trade is what brings them here. They wouldn't have been in consideration for this without that. Well, maybe I wouldn't go that far, but like that's definitely cemented them. Let me say that. Because they were a clear number 4, my number 5, which may be a bit controversial. They're clearly ahead of my number 5 and everybody else after this. So he's exact Desmond Bane, that is. Even though they gave up a lot to get him,
yeah,
he's exactly what this core could use as someone who can really, really shoot it in a variety of situations, which was illegal last year in the Magic Kingdom. Making threes was illegal down there. But hey, he's going to help fix some of that. But he's also able to create from himself a bit on and off the ball and doesn't take anything off the table defensively, which, if they traded for someone like, say, Trae Young, that would have been a problem, right? But now they can keep their strong defensive identity while adding everything he does on the offensive side. And he's under contract for 4 of these 5 years that we're talking about.
Is Suggs going to be their starting point guard?
Yes.
Or, okay.
And that's the other big thing. They didn't have to give up Suggs. But they still have Suggs. And he's very important to what they do.
Yeah, I like Suggs.
On both ends. So, obviously, this is a bet on the progression of Paolo and Franz. And to some degree, Suggs too. But really those two. And they will be getting paid for this stretch. Well, except this year for Paolo. After this year is when he gets paid. But yeah. But I do believe in their ascension. And if Paolo makes all NBA this year, then that's going to mess up their book some more. But, you'll take that. And, they can still keep their top 4 intact more than likely, even if that happens. But, they'll have to do some dancing, but they'll probably be able to dance.
I even like that they picked up, well, I liked it for them, but I didn't like it because I wanted the Kings to go after him. They signed Tyus Jones.
Oh, yeah. That's a good pickup for this year.
Yeah.
For sure. Nice backup point guard.
Yeah.
And, Cleveland and New York have better top 4s in the present day, but I would definitely bet on Orlando having the best top 4 in the East for these next 5 years.
I'm not mad at that.
So, yeah, it's not much to downplay other than their out 3 pick from the Bane trade But if need be, though, they could make a splash 2 years from now when they can trade their 20, 32, and 34.
I'm almost I'm almost certain that they probably don't even care if they're as good as they think they want to be.
Yeah,
they're
they're as good as they are hoping. They're not going to.
Yeah.
But now shifting back to negativity.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Who's Orlando's coach? Is it still
It is
Mosley?
Jamal Mosley.
Okay, cool. Just make sure they move off him yet. On some racist, like, oh, let's bring in Nick Nurse now.
But now we shift back to negativity. Number 14. And unfortunately, this is going to hit close to home for a bunch.
I'm ready. Just rip the Band-Aid off.
It is the Sacramento Kings. Now, a bunch may have them worse than this. And I get it. They're right there with New Orleans and Chicago for me.
Well, for me, I've been rooting for them for 25 years. So I'm tired of this shit.
They check plenty of the usual boxes. Mediocre roster without much upside.
Mediocre is the stretch.
Bad ownership. Questionable front office. They just got rid of Monty McNair. Replaced him with Scott Perry. And Vlade apparently has a voice again.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah. And not likely to be picking high in the upcoming draft based on, where I would have them slotted.
Not high enough.
I would have them, if I rank the teams in the league right now, I would have Sacramento would be around like 9th in the lottery based on how I mapped it out. I think somewhere around there. So yeah.
You got us making a plan?
No.
I don't either. Fuck that. Not if we
Memphis and Dallas are my last two playing teams.
Oh, I ain't got Memphis doing nothing.
Well, then you would have to have somebody over Memphis for the play-in. Not playoff. Play-in.
Then us. I hate that. Then us. I don't care. But that's mostly because I want them to trade y'all bad.
Yeah, no, the last team I have out of the play-in is Portland, and then y'all.
That's fine. I don't care anymore.
But yeah, just like the three before them, it's very unlikely this team will threaten to win a playoff series in the next 5 years, given the lack of true star power and no obvious path to get one.
We had one chance and then we traded the whole. Never mind.
But why? But before we move off them, why would I have them ahead of Chicago and New Orleans? Well, there's a few reasons. Why, or I should say, they're not as bad. Just slightly. They're slightly not as bad. I think they're the best team of those three right now, so that helps a little bit. And I wouldn't even hesitate on that. Damn me with faint praise, I know. But yes, they still have DeRozan, Levine, and Sabonis. Trio, we get that. But only Sabonis is likely to be on this team for the next 3 years. Their books are super duper clean moving forward. Even after they pay Keegan Murray, their books are very clean. So that's nice. And unlike New Orleans, they have all their picks moving forward except for 2031 swap. And they have some extras. They have San Antonio's pick in 27 and Minnesota's pick in 31. So it's not all bad for 31 if Minnesota falls off.
They won't.
Well, who knows where Anthony Edwards is going to be in 2031.
That's fair.
But, they do have good ownership in Minnesota now. So, wish KG could have had that ownership, but whatever. But yeah, basically the 2 through 4 teams have one thing going for them that Phoenix does not. The hope of the draft lottery gods blessing them. We saw Dallas get saved just now. So, hey, maybe it could happen to you too. Not 2026 for New Orleans, unfortunately. But then that's why they're 3 instead of 4. But yeah. But for the end here, we're going to switch it up. We're not going to go positive. We're going to keep it negative. We're going to save the last positive because that's my most controversial selection, I think. So number 5 for the bottom, the last bottom one is the Brooklyn Nets.
They made all 5 first-round picks. That's crazy. That is crazy.
5 first-rounders are going to be on the actual roster.
That is fucking insane.
And look, it's the right thing for them to do because guess what? Part of why they're here, we'll get to, is related to that, it was really tough trying to figure out who was going to take this last spot. But ultimately, I landed on Brooklyn. They argue, and there's a few reasons. One, or I should say two main reasons. They arguably have the worst roster in the league currently. The creation is so not a roster. Even though they drafted 80 point guards. They just have no creation.
I can't wait to see
Cam Thomas.
I can't wait to see Cam Thomas and MBJ.
Oh my God. No. Now, Utah would have a say in who has the worst roster currently, but Utah has more upside than they do.
They also have playable players like Walker Kessler.
Yeah. I like Utah has the lowest over under in Vegas. I think Brooklyn's the worst team on paper.
Yeah. Well, like Utah, I don't think has a team that can win games, but like they have players.
They have players. Brooklyn doesn't have players or a roster that makes sense.
But they play in the
It doesn't matter. While they're one of the three favorites to get one of Kobe Jr., Tracy McGrady Jr., Karl Malone Jr., it's more likely than not, because of how the lottery works, that they get none of those guys. Combine that with them not controlling their 2027 pick, and that's why. And when they could still be bad, by the way, that's why they're here. Now, of course, if they do get one of these guys, then this ranking instantly looks stupid. And like I said, they're as likely as any team to get one of those. And also, even if they don't get one of those guys, the 26th draft is loaded. So maybe, if they're picking like number 5, maybe that guy really popped. And so again, this ranking would look stupid. But until that happens, this is where we're going to have them. The other cause for pause is that they will have plenty of cap space moving forward and extra picks in the cupboard. So most of those picks aren't really that valuable because they're largely from the Knicks. They have one from Philly that could be a little juicy, but probably not. So even if they don't hit big in this draft, they probably aren't going to want to be bad in 27. So they're probably going to at least try to become watchable in 26, 27. So you could convince me a team like, say, Toronto should be here, or even the dark horse, Miami.
I was gonna say, honestly, I forgot Toronto was a franchise.
But I have Brooklyn slightly ahead of those, because at least those two teams will be competitive this year, and then they could always, get lucky or something before then. And Miami just always seems to pull rabbits out of hats anyway. So
they got the best coach in the NBA.
So yeah, so that's why I have Brooklyn here.
I can't wait till the Scotty Barnes trade comes through. One day.
But now we get to my most controversial pick, probably. The number 5 top team. We're going to end on positivity here. And that team is a Western Conference team. And
do they wear yellow?
They may wear purple and yellow.
Of course.
And it is the Los Angeles Lakers. What you niggas thought that I was going to get through this list and not get to the Lakers?
Of course.
You poor, naive soul.
Of course.
But I promise this is not straight bias talking. I actually was really thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I might have to put the Lakers number 5 because, all right. So here's the thing. So I was looking over it. There are other teams that were tough to snub. The last 2 cut were Cleveland and New York. Those are the other 2 that I really seriously thought about for this spot. They are definitely better than the Lakers now. They definitely have a better chance to win a championship now, for sure, no doubt. I would definitely bet on one of them winning the championship, even the next 2 years over the Lakers. But I don't think either one is particularly likely. I strongly think whoever comes out of the West is going to win again. But at least getting to the finals, and it's not so far-fetched that they could win. But, also teams like Denver, Minnesota, Boston, even dark horses like Atlanta, Detroit, and Indiana, you could give at least a little bit of thought to. Though I think those last 3 are real far-fetched. But at least you could kind of really talk yourself into it. But here's the reason why I landed on the Lakers. Number 1, I don't know if you know this, but they have Luka Doncic. Skinny Luka is loaded.
He is.
So watch out for that. They also have new ownership.
They do.
So people with actual money that are actually going to make actual improvement to all the non-basketball stuff. I mean, it's all related to basketball, but you know what I mean, like
Off the court stuff.
Off the court stuff, like facilities, trainers.
Are you suggesting that that's been your problem?
That's been part of it, yes.
Oh.
Our owners are cheap. Well, I ain't even gonna say they're cheap. They're broke. Well, not anymore.
Okay.
Now we got owners with real money. Because remember, the buses, their money is the Lakers. So, it makes sense that they would sell logically. I didn't think they would do it because, that's their whole identity. But it's like, financially, it makes all the sense in the world for them to sell.
That was a dad's identity. No.
But yeah, now you combine a top 4 player with the Laker brand, with the financial backing and cap space coming up for 26. That if they really want, they could roll to 27, though they would have to give up Reeves in that second scenario. But whatever. Yeah, put all that together, and they're not a serious contender for 2026. I would have 6 West teams over them right now to come out the West before I get to them. I can admit that. I ain't biased like that, but that's the main thing that would be your main argument for having Cleveland and New York ahead of them, and even like I said, Denver, Minnesota, etc. But this isn't just about 2026. This is about the next 5 seasons. And so, if I had to bet who's more likely to win a championship over the next 5 seasons, I'm going with the Lakers over all those other teams. So I'm rolling to win at least one, or at least get close to winning.
So this might surprise you.
What's that?
And I'm going to take my hater hat off here. I'm surprised you don't have them as number 1.
I can't do that in good faith.
Well, no. Only because it's Luka legend in LA. Like, the possibilities are almost almost anything can happen. I hate it. I'm scared about it.
Look,
because if he attracts players that want to play with him, he start bringing back that Showtime Laker feel and shit. Who's not gonna want to come to LA? I kind of almost, shit scares me. As the Lakers hater I am, that shit kind of scares me. I ain't gonna lie.
Look, we know you can't count the Lakers out. So, as we learn time and time again. But now we have reached the conclusion. I think I'm okay with going a little over to get to the bonus content. But first, we must do the conclusion to this segment. So, I'll give Bunch the floor to get his shit off on this list or what he thinks of his list or whatever it is that he wants to add.
No, I mean, I think your list was pretty good when you take into account all, trade assets, contracts, all the off the court stuff. My list would be a little different because my list is strictly about on the court, potential talent. So my list would include the 2 teams that I think about. I really like watching Portland, and I like the Wizards' young talent. So those would be 2 teams that I'm keeping an eye on next season, but I can see why they didn't make the list.
Yeah, the issue with Portland is that they just don't have that guy. They don't have that one guy. I mean, I know your boy Denny is.
Well, no, but neither do the Wizards. But I'm looking at their rosters okay, they got a lot of young talent that they can play, and if you just insert one guy,
then
the
problem with the Wizards is that they're so far away that even if they get the guy now, let's just say the lottery gods bless them, they get AJ DeBansta, he fits right in to what they're doing, and he's awesome, right? Let's say has your normal development. They're probably still not ready to really win until at least 27, 28, and probably more 28, 29. That's why,
Well, no, and my criteria isn't
that's enough to keep them out of the bottom. But.
Well, my criteria isn't winning, competing for championships and necessarily going deep playoff runs, but for them being competent is far from where they've been the last few years. So I'm just like, I'm interested in seeing how those teams kind of mold. I like Danny in Portland, and I love Chauncey. I like what the Wizards got, and again, I think I told you the other day, like I think the Wizards have a lot of movable pieces. To where if they do get the guy, you can move a Marcus Smart or C.J. McCollum or
I don't know what you're getting for those guys.
well,
Hopefully, like a second or something.
well, no, not even just like draft pieces, but you might just get a better position player, like one that you actually need to fit the team better, or something. Like
Yeah, I don't know whether the team gonna give that up though. For those guys.
Well, you would have to find a team that is trying to compete. That's just like, oh, we just need a backup point guard. So
right, but then you're probably trading someone like if they give you someone, and let's say, because that's the other thing too. Those guys make us so much money that it's like
they're gonna be moved though. Like CJ would be able to be valuable to somebody.
I mean, no, I don't doubt that. It's just that, like, I'm not going to give you something of real value for the right to take $34 million with CJ McCollum.
Well, yeah, but they're just useful.
$34 million of Chris Middleton. I don't know if that's exactly what they make, but it's somewhere around there.
Chris Middleton, yeah.
So it's hard to take on contracts of that big for teams that are competitive because these teams don't have cap space. So
well, and when I say like it could be like Chicago, a team with a bad front office.
A team like that,
they'd be like,
I could see them be like, oh yeah, we'll give you Io Sumu, and even that's just too dumb for Chicago.
Is it though?
Like even for Chicago, that just sounds too dumb. But who knows?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just interested to see how those teams kind of develop, whether it gets them to contention or not. Those are going to be my league.
I mean, it's
teams.
very subjective exercise. So this is not ironclad. Well, my word is ironclad. But no, seriously, this is not. It's very subjective in terms of like it is that you are factoring in and what you want to root for, right? So that's why I always try to make my criteria clear, so you know what perspective I'm coming from when I'm doing this.
Yeah, with your perspective, with your criteria, I think your list was spot on.
Appreciate it. So now, before we transition to our bonus segment, assuming the camera don't cut off, I'm going to list what I would say were the top 5 teams for the last 5 years and the bottom 5 for the last 5 years. So this is post bubble to 2025 final. Surprise, number 1. I hate to say it, the Boston Celtics. Number 2, the Denver Nuggets. Number 3, the Milwaukee Bucks. Number 4, the Golden State Warriors. And number 5, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Surprise, surprise, those were your 5 NBA champions.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Now, the thing is, the reason why that was so easy is because there aren't any teams that didn't win a championship that was just so good outside of that over this whole 5-year stretch that it's like, okay, I'm willing to put that ahead.
Yeah.
So that's why you got those 5 in that order. And then bottom 5, the Charlotte Hornets.
Jesus.
The Washington Wizards. The San Antonio Spurs. The Chicago Bulls. And the Portland Trailblazers. Now, Charlotte is pretty straightforward. They haven't made the playoffs since 2016. And they did have a couple play-in appearances and got absolutely whacked each time. The Wizards at least made the playoffs once. That's why they're not at the bottom. But, now they've been absolutely awful the last 2 years, though that's by design, which in the long run it'll pay off, I think. San Antonio. Before they got Wemby, the first 3 years, all non-playoff appearances. They did make the play-in a couple times early, but, and then with Wemby, they were really bad his first year, though Wemby gave him excitement. And then this year, obviously, Wemby excited him again, but he only played 46. So the Bulls, they had that little stretch in 2022 where it was exciting, and then Lonzo got hurt, and that's their only highlight this whole time. And a couple play-in appearances. They are the quintessential play-in team now. So this year, I don't think. And then Portland, the end of the Dame era. They did have Dame for the first 3 years, but they've been in the lottery every year the last 4. Were really bad in 23 and 4 and 2 for a lot of 22. So yeah, that's that. But now we move on to our bonus content. Let's run through this. So male and female best friend. The age-old question of can men and women be friends? Of course they can, unless you're 12 mentally. Duh. But the problem with this question is you're coming at it from the wrong angle. What you really should be asking is, what level is the male-female friendship? Because there's levels of this. Not all male-female friendships are created equal. You can say it about any friendship, obviously, but we're talking about male-female besties or whatever. They're not all created the same. So it's like, it's not a easy yes or no whether or not you should care, say if you're the significant other of one of them. Right? There's levels to the shit. So, to learn how to figure out how to make that judgment before you get invested, these are the levels that you should look for. But most of the time, you should just trust your partner, obviously. Even if there is something, it's probably not going to happen on your watch. But, still, it's just, something to think about. And really, it's more so for your own delusion if you're that person that's actually in said friendship. But let's go through the 6 levels. Level 1 being no worries, nothing to see here. It's like being friends with your homeboy or homegirl, whatever. Just fully, nothing. Next to nothing. And then level 6, which is get the entire fuck out of here. Like, stop playing in my face. All right, level 1, sandbox. You've been at it since pre-puberty. Nothing to see here. Even on the slim chance that they test the waters, it's not going to be on your. This one for sure, it's not going to be on your watch. Pretty much. Level 2, and Bunch can interject anytime you want. Level 2, pre-true adulthood. So not quite as safe as sandbox, but damn close in most cases. Basically, this is from post-puberty to the end of college age. So like say around 22, 23. You're still innocent enough and have less enough responsibilities where you can organically build those bonds. They don't take much effort or conscious effort or whatever. So, those can happen naturally. Again, this one you can probably just shrug it off. Level 3, friend group. So this person is someone that is friends largely by proxy more than individually. So here they're basically always together via group, but basically never one-on-one unless it's truly random, rarely planned out. And if so, it's usually a specific but innocent purpose. Level 4, ex from middle or high school. This is where it starts to get a little more dicey, but this one can be feasible only if
she's fat. Sorry, my bad.
Only if they stop dating by the end of year 1 of college, so like 19, 20. All right. If they lasted past that, though, you can have questions. And then we got 2 more. Level 5. This is when we're getting into the real danger zone. A new friend from real adulthood. So this is someone you met as a grown ass, like 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. And this is a prospect. All right. Now you could say perhaps it's nothing. It's possible to still make friends like a coworker or something. But even then, like the amount of effort it takes to build that kind of bond, it's just nobody got time for that. Like, it's too much life going on. You're not doing that type of effort for someone just to go to movies and then y'all just each go home your separate ways. Like, not how it works. Again, this relationship is 1v1 and it's taking real effort, so it's more intimate by nature. So yeah, prospect, not a pure platonic friendship in most cases. And then level 6, grown ex, someone that's your ex from when you've been a full grown up. With the exception of even maybe sharing a kid older than 5, this does not need any further explanation. We can end it right there. And that's it. So, if no objections from Bunch, closing shout outs to end here. Shouts out to my dad. Happy birthday to him. His birthday was yesterday. I'm recording this Monday.
Happy birthday, OG.
His birthday was Sunday. Also, shout out to my brother. His birthday is in a week. And shout out to my man Mike Chappelle. R.I.P. His birthday's on Friday. And also shout out to me. My birthday is Sunday, age 37. I'm old as shit. God damn.
Yeah, you old as fuck.
I think it's almost 40. Oh my god. But hey, yeah, we made it. We about to make it another year. God willing, because you never know. But like, subscribe, hit that bell button, leave your reviews on the audio.
You're not gonna tell them what you're doing for your birthday?
I don't even know if I'm doing shit.
Some debauchery.
Yeah, but we'll see. But till next time, guys, we out here.